Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you a couple of new tools that you can use in Onshape. So the focus of this video will be learning how to use the Revolve feature, which is right here. We're going to be using, let's see, let's use the inscribed polygon so you can see that. We're going to use an arc, possibly, yeah, we'll use a 3-point arc. And we're going to use, let's see, where is it? There's this feature right here where you can make a pattern. So linear pattern, we're going to make a circular pattern here. So there's different kinds of patterns that you can make. And so I'll show you that too. So what we're going to make is a spinning top. So here's some pictures of spinning tops. We'll make something like maybe one of these or this. Let's make something like this. Actually, let's go with something that's kind of got like a triangle at the bottom and what kind of curves up at the top. And so something like this would probably, if you're going to 3D print it, would probably be best for 3D printing. And so for something that's circular like this, what we can do is we can kind of draw a profile of it. So we're going to trace out the outline of half of it, and then we're going to basically rotate it about that axis to create a 3-dimensional shape. And so I'm going to walk you through that process. So we'll start here. I'll start with the bottom right here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our axis of rotation. So we're going to draw a line. And this line, we're not going to treat it like a real line. What we do is when we have a line that we want to use as a reference, we're going to turn it into a construction line. Okay, so we click the construction. Now it becomes this dotted line. So it's not part of the actual shape, but it's used as a reference. Okay, so now let's start drawing our top. Let's say that we're going to have a line coming up, okay, and then maybe we'll have it kind of branch outward like this, okay. Actually, let's do a curve. Let's do a curve at the bottom. Okay, so let's do a 3-point arc. So we'll go like this, and like this, okay. And we'll do another one like this, and like, here, we'll wait on, yeah, let's go like this, okay. And so now what we'll do is we can kind of dimension stuff. So let's say that we want the total height of our top to be about let's say 120 millimeters would be 12 centimeters. That'd be pretty tall. Let's set it at maybe 90 millimeters. That'd be about 9 centimeters tall. No, you know what? That's still probably too big. Let's go with 60. Okay, and then we'll set the diameter to be about it's about 20 right now, so that would give us a radius of 20, so that would give us a diameter about 40, which is good. So we'll go 20 right here. Okay, and then we have to set the radius of these. You can see that we can kind of, I guess we can't. So the next thing we can do is we can set where this is on this vertical axis. So we'll just make it coincident to that point right there. So that kind of shifts it up. And you see how it kind of made it weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this. There's, if I click on this point, there should be a some kind of constraint there that's causing this to have trouble. So let me click on this, and we're going to go ahead and delete that constraint. Oh, we want to delete this horizontal one. So I'm going to delete that constraint right there. And now I'm going to click here to make them coincident again. Okay. And then, oops, don't want to do that. from here, I wonder if I can, no. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is we'll just say, we'll decide how far up this is off the ground. So we'll go about, let's say 15, 20, let's go 20 millimeters. Okay? And then we can kind of adjust how severe these angles are. So let's set this one, get a dimension tool, or this arc. We'll set this arc to be about, oops. So when we dimension the arc, we click right here, and it's at 31, which is pretty good. I'm going to go with 30, so we have kind of a round number. And then for this one, I kind of like the look of this one. I'm going to make it a little bit more, so I'm going to go with 60. Okay? And so now we have this shape, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn it into a top. Okay? And if we want to make it a nice looking top, we probably could do something a little better with it, but I'll also kind of move this piece right here. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to click Revolve. I'm going to choose sketch 1, and then for revolve axis I'm going to choose this. And it looks like it's not happy yet, and so it looks like if we want to do a revolve, we have to have this shape completely closed off, not just with the construction line. So let's go back to our sketch, and we'll just draw a line connecting from here to there. Okay, and now when we click this, it's going to go ahead and do that revolve. And so we get our top, and you can see it's actually kind of an ugly top. So maybe what we'll do is we'll go back to the sketch, and we'll change the diameter of this one. So I'm going to delete that constraint and try to manually adjust it to see what we can come up with. Maybe something like this would be better. And really, if we want to make this look good, we should have like more than just this arc probably. So I'll click, what did this change to now? Let's put it at 60. I don't remember what it was before. Actually, let's go 55. So the smaller the circle, then the more we can see little changes. So again, not the prettiest top, but that's okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add some little features on the ends. So what I'm going to do is this. We're going to create a sketch now on the surface, on the plane I guess, where these ends kind of flare out. Okay, so I actually paused the video for a while and messed around with it because I was having trouble getting it so I could sketch on this surface. And fortunately we don't need to, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure how. There's a tool here to create a plane, but I couldn't turn this surface here into a plane. So instead what we're going to do is we're going to do a sketch on this plane right here. And there's a tool that we can use called project. It's called use. So we're going to click use on that, and it's going to project that circle onto this plane. Okay? And this is going to allow us to kind of draw onto that circle. And this will work for what we're trying to do here. So I press the N key to make it normal, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an inscribed polygon that's centered right here. All right, let me try again. Here we go. And so we can kind of change the number of faces. Let's go like this. Let's make it, if you go 3 faces, you go something like maybe 5 faces. Okay, and then, oops, that's not what I do. Anyway, actually let's do this instead. Let's go like this, make a line, and we're gonna just kind of cut little like triangles into it. Okay, now what I want to do is this. I want to determine what angle this triangle is going to be. So using the dimension tool, if I click 2 lines that are connected, I can set the angle between them, And maybe we'll set this angle to 50 degrees, and then we'll set the depth to, maybe we'll have it stick in 8 millimeters. Okay? And now, what we're going to do, let's go back a step. So this is set as horizontal. Okay. And so I'm having a little bit of trouble getting this to, so because when I set this as 8, you'll notice that it kind of tilted to the side. And so what I need to do is then create a construction line. So go like this, make a vertical construction line. Okay. And what we can do is we can set this angle right here to be 25 degrees. So now it's centered. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this triangle we just made, and we're going to do another extrude. Okay, but instead of using that, we're going to use that little triangle, and instead we're going to click here where it says remove, so it's going to cut things out. And I'm going to change the direction, and I'm going to send it just all the way through. Now you'll see that it kind of takes a slice out of the edge of our top. Okay, so let's go to the left. Go to the back face where it's at. Okay, so you can see we kind of did that, and we can make it deeper. Let's make it a little bit deeper. Instead of 8, let's go with like maybe 12. So it's a little bit more dramatic. Okay, so click check, and we have a pretty nice little slice there, and we can add some fillets to it if we want. So we'll add fillets. It doesn't like it when these fillets intersect each other, so we'll add one here, and then we'll just add one. Yeah, we'll just do the one right here. Nope, that's not what I want. We just won't even worry about it because it's not working out. I gotta learn more about those. So now what we can do, if we added a fillet, we could pattern that fillet. Maybe we'll do something fun like, oh, it'll kind of let us do that. No, we won't worry about that. Something I need to work on. Okay, anyway, so instead of worrying about that, let's just look at the next part. So I want to pattern this around the outside. So I'm going to click here where it says linear pattern. I'm going to change it to circular pattern. Okay, and the faces I want to select. So under entities, where here it says part pattern, so you got to make sure to change this. We need it to be a feature pattern. We want to pattern this feature in a circle. So I select those two things. Okay, angle 360 degrees. Maybe we'll try 8 of them. See how that looks. And he doesn't like it. Alright, so what do we got to fix? Let's select the features again. Oh, we need to choose an axis. So to see the axis, you'll see that we can't find it here. So we need to go back to Show Sketch 1, so we can select this construction line for our axis. And now the features we'll choose again. And that, yep. And so you can see it kind of patterned it around. And there's our fancy looking top. So anyway, if we spent more time on this, we can make it a better looking top. But the goal here is that you hopefully learn some things about Revolve and patterns that you can use on your next project.